My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need! And I hope you enjoy the video.
Okay, so real quick, because this has literally been like one of the most funniest days on Twitter if you are a PlayStation fan. Sure, you guys have heard the news because this all went down yesterday by the time I upload this. Sure, you guys have heard the news, all the stuff that's, been going on with Last of Us 2, that Last of Us 2, bro, and all the new details that we got, we finally got a release date for this junk, and then they showed a new trailer. They put out some new gameplay as well. I have not seen that junk yet, though. I'm gonna have to check that out. The point that I want to really talk about in this video is that multiplayer. I remember when the first Last of Us came out, that man Broken Hairlines HD, he had said one of the most iconic statements in the Crumbside community that we're in. And that statement was, when Last of Us come out, I'm going straight to that multiplayer. And I was like, Negro, you're an idiot. Because we all know that Sug is a multiplayer junkie. You will not be saying that in Last of Us 2, my friends. Last of Us 2 is multiplayerless, lacking of the multiplayer. There is no multiplayer. Having without said online experience. There is no multiplayer in Last of Us 2, and suckers was going crazy. You know what I found the funniest, though? There's okay, you got the Last of Us stands out there, the people that like worship and praise this game, but you also have that crowd that hates on the game and like nitpicks The Last of Us a lot. And really, this only happens, I don't see stuff like this happen for any other like company but Sony. When it comes to like PlayStation exclusives, especially one that most people think is going to be really good, for some reason, I don't know why, but people love to like overly critique PlayStation exclusives. That junk never happens for Xbox, but then, I don't think that it's even possible to happen for Xbox because no one really gets hyped for any Xbox exclusives anymore. Hopefully that Halo Infinite is good, though. The point is, what I found the funniest yesterday that was going on, literally people in my Discord for hours, and not just Discord, Twitter, like wherever you went, if you're in the gaming community, what I found the funniest is some of the people that hate on and critique and nitpick The Last of Us the most and say, I don't care about Last of Us, it's really not my game. I don't get why it gets all the praise that it does. These same suckers was spending hours talking about Last of Us and why, about the whole multiplayer thing. I'm like, hold on. How does a sucker that not care about this game spend this much time talking about said game? You would have thought Neil Druckmann got Me Too'd the way people was talking about Naughty Dog yesterday. I'm like, there's a whole bunch of suckers that I thought didn't care about Last of Us spending hours talking about this freaking situation that's going on. That was what I found the funniest about the whole situation. Suckers love to act like they ain't a Last of Us fan when they really are closet fans. And it's okay there's nothing wrong with admitting Last of Us, like you kind of do like Last of Us. I don't know why that's so hard for some people to admit, but the point is, Last of Us 2, and here's my thing, because with the whole report, at first it was just one report that's saying Last of Us is not going to have no multiplayer. And I was like, I just spit everywhere. I was like, yeah, unless this junk comes from Naughty Dog themselves, I don't believe it. Lead game designer Amelia Schatz, she confirmed in an interview with US Gamer that, the whole reason why they're not doing multiplayer this time around is so they want to focus on no. Let me read exactly what she said. And I quote, "We're focusing on a single player experience, so we're just making a single player game for this." Shat said during the event when asked about what sort of form the previously confirmed multiplayer mode would take. Correct, it is a single player game, a Sony representative subsequently clarified over email. So pretty much the whole reason why these bastards are not putting in Last of Us 2 multiplayer mode is because they want to focus more on the single player. Here's my here's my problem, okay? Now, you had people actually defending this move saying, this is great. I didn't really care about the multiplayer in the first Last of Us. Who cares? It's a single player game to begin with. Now they can focus entirely on said single player and make it that much better. What's the problem? Okay, here's the problem. In the first Last of Us, was that not one of the best single player experiences we got last gen? People are still talking about that story today. That junk came out in 2013. Incredible storyline. You could hate on it all you want. The story for Last of Us is a classic already. Okay, it just is. And guess what? It had a multiplayer. Now, this wasn't any, tacked on 2013 Tomb Raider multiplayer. Oh, no. Suckers, literally, I'm not even kidding. I literally think the population right now for Last of Us is stronger than the population of Gears of War 5 on Xbox. I'm not even kidding, bro. You can find games on Last of Us multiplayer till this day. And I'm not talking about you have to wait for a while, for the match to fill up. Oh, no. As soon as you search for a match, sucker, you are going to find a match. I don't think for the people that didn't play the Last of Us multiplayer, and of course, I definitely care more about the single player for Last of Us than the multiplayer. First time around, I was like 80, not even. I was like 90% single player for Last of Us, 10% multiplayer. After seeing how that multiplayer was and how strong and dedicated that community is, no. This time around, I'm probably especially with the landscape of you have to understand the landscape of multiplayer games, more specifically multiplayer shooters today. I'm probably 60% single player, 40% multiplayer. Because there's some people that didn't really, or if they did try to, I honestly think some of the people that are saying this, they were just ass at. There's no other way to say it. I really think that a lot of people that don't have a problem with this tried The Last of Us multiplayer, realized they sucked at it, and said, "Oh, this junk is trash. I'm gonna just stick with the single player." No, sucker, no. The Last of Us multiplayer was really good. I still think Last of Us 2 is going to have a multiplayer. I think they're going to do the same thing, kind of how Rockstar does. And, Rockstar has done it so much, people don't even, they've done it so much, people don't even get mad, when they announce that no more. You know how, Rockstar will put out a game and, it's just the single player for, the first month. And then the month afterwards, then they add in the multiplayer. I kind of feel like that's what Naughty Dog is going to do for Last of Us 2. I feel like this game is going to launch first just as a single player game only, and then in a few weeks, a month max, then they're going to add in the multiplayer. I know a few months back that they was saying that they was looking for some new multiplayer, people to hire. These suckers ain't stupid. Naughty Dog knows how big the multiplayer community was for Last of Us. And another thing you should look at it really, the people that kind of just how can I say this? The people who only care about the single player for Last of Us are kind of I don't know if I want to use the word casuals, but the point I'm trying to make is the people that still play the multiplayer are like really the hardcore fans of Last of Us. They played the single player a whole bunch of times and they stuck around and played the multiplayer. The people that just played the story, they might have played it, 2, 3 times, maybe 4 times, 5 times, whatever. But they only play the story and then go away from the game, for months. And then, but they'll still talk about it. The people that play the multiplayer, they are on, bro, I cannot tell you how many times even today, I have gotten on Last of Us multiplayer. And I think the highest rank you could get is like 999. You would, bro, these are the people that literally do not play. You can tell they don't play nothing else. When you get on Last of Us now, you will run into people like freaking rank 750, 800, 999. I'm like, did these suckers ever get off this game? No, they didn't. That is the most dedicated Last of Us community, if you really look at it from that perspective, is the multiplayer crowd. And it's kind of weird to think about, but the multiplayer fan base of Last of Us is not like they only care about the multiplayer, but they realized that the Last of Us multiplayer wasn't some tacked on junk. It was actually like a very good experience and added a whole nother, replay value to the game, once you beat the story, that they stuck around and kept playing it. So people using that tired excuse like, they want to focus more on the sentence. Sucker, shut up. Because the first Last of Us had single player and multiplayer as well, and both were amazing. I'm seeing suckers start petitions already. I was about to sign one of them, but the first thing it said was, if you agree to this I literally was about to sign it, but then I read, because they had 2 rules on the petition. It was like, if you sign this petition, then you are agreeing to 1, not buying Last of Us 2 on launch. And I seen that and I was like, yeah, we out. So I was like, sucker, why sign the petition when I'm not going to follow the rules? Because don't get it twisted. There's a whole bunch of people out there saying, I'm not buying Last of Us no more. Yeah, I sucker. Yeah, okay. Good one, buddy. Sucker, when that Last of Us 2 drop, don't get it twisted. With how the first multiplayer was in Last of Us, I was really looking forward to this one. And I was looking forward to beating, BG and Hard 8 again. I was looking forward to that. I'm sure you guys remember that greatness. I was looking forward to that, and now that I can't do that, the freak. What am I gonna play? COD forever? I was looking forward to beating those Negroes. So even if you didn't play the multiplayer, you have to understand this was not no tacked on multiplayer. There is a huge, I wouldn't say huge, but there is a solid there's a solid dedicated fan base behind the Last of Us multiplayer, and it was successful, and Naughty Dog knows that. So why would you not put a multiplayer mode in the sequel? Just don't make no sense. So yeah, the jump was crazy. The jump was crazy yesterday. Of course, Xbox was laughing. I'm like, what the hell these suckers got to laugh about? Xbox sometimes just need to know their place. That that clip with New York? Do you remember New York from what was that show with Flav? What was that show with Flavor Flav called? Flavor of a Love. Do you remember New York? They got a clip was like, you should have just sat down and ate your food. That's Xbox. Sucker, y'all have no reason to laugh this generation at all. You suckers have failed miserably. Did y'all suckers see Inside Xbox? Because it was the same day as State of Play. Just in case you didn't, Yeah, y'all suckers ain't got no reason to laugh, bro. Hopefully Microsoft comes strong next gen, but Jesus God. But it was crazy yesterday, bro. You got suckers out here trying to sign petitions and get people on board. You have suckers lying to themselves saying, I'm not buying Last of Us 2, bro. I promise there's no multiplayer. I ain't buying. Yeah, all right. So you had a whole bunch of people that claimed that they don't like Last of Us. Yet these suckers were talking the most about Last of Us yesterday. I'm talking about for hours, bro. Literally hours. I'm like, how you don't care about this game, but you spending this much time talking about it? I don't get it. So wow. It was, bro, I'm telling you, the only two devs that like get this attention is Naughty Dog and Rockstar. Those are like the only developers that can have suckers going this crazy about something about your game. Like suckers were going crazy yesterday, and I was actually kind of shocked. Like, again, I know the Last of Us multiplayer is good, but I was shocked how much attention it got. Like, clearly there was a lot of people that like this multiplayer, a lot of people. So if they truly don't plan on having a multiplayer in Last of Us 2, not saying I'm not buying the game, because I'm not going to lie straight to y'all face. I'm just not doing it. It's like, I will be buying that game. But if they really plan on not putting a multiplayer in the sequel, knowing how good and how much people love the first one, that dedicated fan base that's stuck on that game and are still playing that game today, I just feel that's laziness. Like, there's nothing else. I don't want to hear that excuse. No. I don't want to hear it, because the first Last of Us had an incredible story experience and a multiplayer. So just saying now you just want to focus on the story, that's lazy. That's laziness, period. So that's my thoughts of it. What do you guys think about Last of Us 2 for right now, not supposedly supposed to have a multiplayer? Are y'all suckers still pre-ordering Last of Us 2? I'll tell you one thing. I was going to get that Ellie edition. That's what, $250? I think it came with a statue, a backpack, a vinyl, some stickers, the concept art, the steel bookcase, stuff like that. Sucker, if you think I'm paying $250 for a single player game only for a one-up box statue, of a freaking Jan Sport backpack, and some stickers for $250, and it's single player only? You got the game twisted. You got the game twisted. If there is no multiplayer in Last of Us, I'm still getting it. Don't get it twisted, but I'm going to probably only get the special edition. If not that, the freaking standard edition. Yes, it is that serious. I'm not saying I'm not getting the game. I am. I'm not one of those people. But I will downgrade my pre-order. I will do that. So, it's your choice, Naughty Dog. It's y'all choice. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until then, catch y'all on the next one, all right? Peace.